Well, good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Westcliff Quay. As I say, I will try and get a video on once a week. Not a lot to talk about really, but I think on this one I'd just like to start off by thanking all my new subscribers and all my new viewers I've had. I say my last video is over 600 views. Very much appreciated. And I know over the last few weeks, I think even on the last video I was talking about the NHS and the state I'm in with doctor's appointments, hospital appointments, and I'm just going round and round in circles. But I've been watching Koi Fish Johnny on his last video. I'm sure you've all seen him. If he's fell over and he's twisted his knee, and the poor guy looked in a bit of a state. And obviously he cannot praise the health service and the NHS enough for what they've done to him. And although with all my moans and groans about what's going on at the moment, I too have got to, I can't say enough really for the NHS. I have covered this story before, but it was many months ago. And any of the new subscribers and viewers, obviously they may not have heard it. But back in 2011, I was working at home. It was the 8th of December, and it was a little bit chilly indoors, so I was fitting a new radiator to the hallway, putting a big double radiator in the hallway, trying to warm it up a bit more. And as I bent down to reach the pipework under the floorboards, it was as if someone had just clumped me round the back of the head with a lump of wood. The pain in my head was horrendous. But I had it in mind, as I went down to the floor, I just knocked the front door handle open on the front door, and I fell to the floor, and my vision was going, I was going blind. And I just crawled into the lounge, and I managed to find the phone on the floor, and I just dialed 999. And that's really all I can remember. And I just remember saying to the operator when she picked up, I'm going blind. Well, luckily enough, well, to my luck, an ambulance was just going past the top of my road. They arrived at the premises, came in because the front door was open, and they found me laying on the floor. I didn't know anything about it. What they done, they rushed me off to Southend Hospital. I think my next door neighbour come in, and he phoned my wife and told her she better get home a bit quick. They thought I'd had a stroke. In fact, I'd had a brain hemorrhage. They transferred me to Queen's Hospital in Romford, where they done brain surgery, and they went in through my thigh, up into the brain, and fitted 3 platinum coils into where it was bleeding. I was then transferred back to Southend Hospital, where I went into intensive care for 4 days, then removed back out into the main ward. Before all this happened, they told my wife that the next 24 to 48 hours would be critical. I came back home on the 19th of December, and recovery time was, I wouldn't say it was lengthy, but it was a little bit troubling. That I had to sort of really learn to walk again, really. But thankfully I've came out of it with no real side effects. So yes, I cannot speak highly enough of the NHS service. But like Johnny, he said when he fell over at the back of the pond, he couldn't move. And I think when he did get hold of someone, they said it would be like 7 hours he would be laying at the back of the pond. Same again with a few months back with myself. I had a suspected heart attack. We phoned them at 9 o'clock in the morning and the ambulance arrived at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If that had been a real heart attack, I might have been dead. If that had been my brain hemorrhage when I phoned, and it had taken that many hours for the health or an ambulance to arrive, and then paramedics to get working on me, I would have been dead. Because there is no way I would have survived the brain hemorrhage waiting for an ambulance that amount of time. So yes, I owe them my life. I can't say no more than that. But the situation this country's in now, it's overloaded and they cannot cope with their workload. They just cannot cope. And it's not the fault of the health service. You can't blame the nurses. They're coming out on strike. Well, good luck to them. I think they earn every penny they get. And then paramedics, all of them. They're not paid enough. So, what more can I say? But I just thought I'd like to cover that. I know I've had a moan and a groan about the health service and everything else, what's going on. And I think I'm entitled to, and I think everybody else is entitled to. Most of the people you speak to, you know, they just can't get an appointment at a doctor's. You know, my wife's got a chest infection at the moment. She couldn't get an appointment at the doctor's. I know one of my other YouTubers, my subscribers, his wife's in the same situation. Dave over at Koi Karma. Again, if you've not been there, check Dave's channel out. It's very interesting. But his wife's in the same situation. Can't get an appointment at a doctor's. I think she's got a chest infection. And they said the earliest appointment they can give you is at the end of January. And that would just be a telephone conversation. Well, really, it's not good enough, is it? It's impossible. They're just overwhelmed. And they just cannot cope. Well, anyway. So that's it's a bit of a moan, I suppose, but mainly it's a praise for the health service, and I'm sure all of us really. I've got stories to tell about the health service. I think my fishes could do with the health service down there at the moment. They look a bit chilly, don't they? Oh, you know what? I'm starting to shake out here. I think it was -8 here last night. No, it wasn't. Tell a lie. It was -6. And it's going -6 again tonight. I've got a little bit of ice down on the pond there. But everything, this was solid the other day when I came out. The whole lot was solid. But then again, I had the waterfall off. So I've kept that waterfall running for the last couple of nights, and it's kept it moving about. Boys and girls not too happy, as you can see. They're all sitting down there. Got a couple of them moving about. But the rest just looking at me going, what you done to us? I think it's my fault. Anyway. He's the only one really moving about. Me big lemon yamabuka. I think he's a lemon yamabuka. Waterfall's still running nicely. The artwork's still looking good up there. If any of you guys wanting that artwork, that's done by the original wooden koi company. The lady's name there is Margaret. There's good quality stuff, I tell you. Yeah, so that's the original wooden koi company if anyone's interested. Oh boy, I ain't going to do much more of this video. I'm absolutely frozen. I nearly swore then. I just said Oh. Anyway, look at me, poor garden. I don't think I'll be getting the lawnmower out on that for a few more days. Anyways, so on that note, guys, I tell you what I'm gonna do though. One day, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. How'd you fancy a little a ghost story for Christmas? But it's a true ghost story, and I know it's true because it happened to me. So I think I'll get this one on because I did promise to do one a week, just to keep things turning over. And so I did want to do this brickwork down here again, but I can't possibly lay any blocks in this weather when it's going -4, -6s. Might be able to do something the weekend. It's just promising it's going to warm up down here. We could go to +14 by Monday. So I might be able to get just a couple of layers of blocks in there and start building up and moving this waterfall. So, anyway guys, I'm going to end this one here. I'll see you soon, and I should do that little ghost story on the next one. That's a quite interesting one. It weren't very interesting for me though. It made me quite ill for a few years. So, on that note, I shall end this one there, and see you all on the next one. Cheers guys.